Popp Memorial Stadium, nestled firmly inside the rolling hills of Hickory Flat here in Cherokee County. One of the oldest rivalries in the area on tap tonight as the Cherokee Warriors travel just down the road from Highway 20 to do battle hometown Sequoyah Chiefs. I'm Chase Shaffer. Joining me in the booth this evening is my esteemed analyst, Will Hoogendyk. Will, a fantastic matchup here tonight that pits two of the oldest schools in Cherokee County up against one another.
Right you are, Chase. Sequoyah comes into tonight's game riding the momentum out of a shutout win against another county rival as they took down the Woodstock Wolverines last Friday night 28-0. Don't take anything away from this visiting Cherokee team Warriors, as they have come into the season loaded up on the offensive side of the ball once again. With Maryland commit and QB A.J. Swan leading this offense, it'll be one of the top teams to beat in the county. Will,
both teams come into this game having won their season opener. We got a glimpse of things to come for the Warriors as they throttled Mays High School in the Corky Kell Classic.
That's right, Chase. One of the things I saw and I'm most excited about is to see this Cherokee spread offense. Coach Shaw has done a fantastic job building this program into a serious contender here in Cherokee County. Last year, they had a major accomplishment in handing Georgia powerhouse Cartersville their first regular season loss in over 60 games. A huge accomplishment that puts the rest of the state on notice that they're for real.
Will, Sequoyah comes into this game with a full head of steam, having had an excellent spring game, a preseason scrimmage, and a big opening win against Woodstock. What's going to be the keys tonight for the Chiefs if they want to take down the Warriors?
Well, Chase, it'll be throwing Swan off of his rhythm. The Chiefs' new defense scheme that's been instituted by Coach Buddy changes things up for Sequoyah. They now run a 3-4 base that concept offense. Sequoyah is going to have to find a way for seniors Harrison Hood and Avery Bourne to get in the backfield and cause some havoc. The Chiefs secondary is very young, and after losing Jack Blackman to graduation last year, defensive line play is going to be critical. If Sequoyah can create that pressure and keep Swan uncomfortable in the pocket, they'll be in a great position towards the end of this game.
Will, there couldn't be any more opposite offensive schemes here tonight on display. Is Sequoyah going to stick with that infamous wing T offense? What's the offense going to have to do to take some of the pressure off of this defense?
Excellent question, Chase. Sequoyah's going to have to sustain long drives and keep Cherokee's offense on the field. The wing T was designed for just that, bleed the clock and score. If Sequoyah's offense can do exactly what it did against Woodstock, they'll be in fantastic shape and position to pull off an upset here at Skip Popp.
We've seen some changes instituted in that offense this season as Matthew Trainor's emerged as a weapon for the Chiefs. How does that versatility open up the playbook for Sequoyah this year?
Well, we saw against last week that Coach Jeter was throwing in some new looks. We got to see a lot of shotgun formations and shotgun formations with 3 wide receivers as well. I think I even saw Sequoyah running an ISO concept in the middle on one of their big yardage runs last week. Obviously, the Chiefs will try and throw the kitchen sink at Cherokee in order to pull this off, but with Trainor's ability to threat as a passer and a runner, Sequoyah has a lot of tools at their disposal tonight.
And here come the Cherokee Warriors out onto the field. The Cherokee faithful have filled out the visitor side of the stadium quite nicely here as the sun nestles behind the clouds on a beautiful evening for football here at Sequoyah High School. I see Will Hoogendyk on the big screen right now. Look at that, Will on the big screen as this beautiful new Sequoyah High School scoreboard, is really thrilling some of these people here at Skip Popp Memorial Stadium. Still waiting on the Chiefs to come out of the tunnel and take the field, but we've got a big one on tap here tonight. Let's run through some of the starting lineups real quick. Looks like Sequoyah on the defensive side of the ball. At cornerback, going to go Ridley Joseph and Ben Sanders. Safeties will probably be Trainor and Hancock. Darling will get in there a little bit as well. Linebacker core looking like Sanders, Miller, and Sandt. Cruz Wright, Zablotny, and Roland Steele will get some playing time as well. On the defensive line, we're going to have Harrison Hood, Brady Curl, and Avery Bourne. And Kamar Plummer looks to make an appearance as well, as he had a big game last week against Woodstock. As the Sequoyah Chiefs get ready to get out of the tunnel here and get this one going from Skip Popp Stadium at Sequoyah High School. We'll run through the Sequoyah Chiefs offensive side of the ball. Offensive line looks like Ketchum, Anderson, Morris, Hoogendyk, and Barrett. Fullback for the Chiefs will be Peyton Lucas. Tight ends will be Ty Moores and Patrick Byrne. Pie Scores and Hancock will be getting the lion's share of the carries at wingback position. Trainor the quarterback, but you already knew that. And some more wingbacks going to look like Cruz Wright and Tyler Bell. Ashton Hunt going to be the senior wide receiver for the Sequoyah Chiefs offense as well. Let's take a look at the offensive side of the football for the Cherokee Warriors as we're creeping up on 4 minutes until game time. Offensive line looks like Ryan Chanley, Asher Allred, Ben Rice, Colt Childers, and Levon Naismith from left to right, respectively. A.J. Swan, the quarterback. Z. Johnson going to be the running back. We'll see a little bit of a familiar face in Aiden Moore as he got some playing time during the Corky Kell Classic. He actually came away as the player of the game for the Warriors with 2 touchdowns and some pretty big receiving yards. He was able to muster 70 yards on 3 catches and 2 touchdowns, his longest for 36, as Sequoyah lining up at the tunnel, ready to get these fans pumped up for a Cherokee County rivalry game here tonight from Canton, Georgia. On the defensive side of the ball for the Warriors, in the defensive secondary, we're going to have Ryan O'Keefe, Keegan Baker, Chase Goddard, and Evan Bigger. The linebacking core. Looking like Morgan Cox, Caden Simmons, and Tyler Goddard. Defensive line going to look like Daniel Young, Toby Thompson, Tanner Dollyhigh, and Jax Holcomb. Javon Hobson as well had a pretty big game with 2 sacks during the Corky Kell Classic. And that will take us to Sequoyah coming out onto the football field. Will, it's great to see all the fans back out here tonight. As we mentioned this when we went to the Woodstock game, it is great to see all the fans. And last year was a little different with all the COVID stuff going on because we were empty stadiums and no bands. What's it like to have the fans and the bands back here?
Oh, it's wonderful, Chase. I believe there was about 4,000 tickets sold, so we truly have a full house tonight. Even on the visiting side, the student section's packed. Both the bands are here, which is great to have, as we didn't have that last year. We got parents here. Student sections are full. It's going to be a great game tonight, Chase.
So we want to thank everybody for joining us on ChiefsTV.org. It is a beautiful night out here as it's a little bit overcast, so the heat has receded a little bit as we get ready to get underway. As Sequoyah starts to make their way onto the field. Quick note, everybody, at halftime, we're going to have Jeff Fisher from High School Football America gracing us with his presence. We'll talk to him a little bit about High School Football America, how it got started and what its mission is, and what it's like covering the Cherokee Warriors this year as his hometown team. So a fun interview coming up at halftime. Stick around for that. Sequoyah and Cherokee both won their opening games as Cherokee throttled Mays and Woodstock was no match for the Chiefs as Sequoyah won 28-0. Will, that's pretty much what you want out of a wing T football team as it's starting to rain a little bit here at Sequoyah High School. This is wild. It's raining on the field, but it's not raining up here. Oh, here it comes. Let's go ahead and hide all of our paperwork real quick. So as we scramble to keep everything dry real quick, a sudden rain shower has sprung up. Second. So as we get set to kick off, it appears that Sequoyah is going to be getting the ball first. And back to receive for the Chiefs is Hancock and Matthew Trainer. So the clouds were a little bit more nefarious than we thought, as a brief rain shower caused us to lose audio for just a quick second. As Joe Dahl, the senior kicker for Cherokee, set to get us underway here. He'll be kicking from the right side of your screen to the left, as back to receive is Jackson Hancock and Matthew Trainer. And we are set to go for the Sequoyah Chiefs home opener as Joe Dahl kicks this one off. It is a low line drive, going to bounce a couple times inside the 10. Picked up by Trainer. Trainer now crosses over the 10. Cuts back inside. He's got a lot of room, but he's tripped up at just beyond the 30-yard line. So they're going to mark him at the 31, and that's where Sequoyah will start from on their first offensive possession of the game. Will, going to be critical for Sequoyah to keep Cherokee at arm's length if they're going to have to kick the ball back off to them in the second half.
Yeah, most definitely, Chase, especially with the D1 quarterback. I mean, he's really going to be knowing what he has to do and being able to execute that a lot better than some of the other guys that Chiefs are playing, so they're going to have to do a good job of locking down quickly.
Chiefs offense out on the field as they are wearing their gray alternate jerseys. Cherokee loading the box. Sequoyah has one wide receiver to the far side of the field. Handoff up the middle for Peyton Lucas, and he's going to pick up 3 yards on the first carry of the game. So Sequoyah staying true to who they are with a fullback run right up the middle. Snap taken. This one will be handed off to Jack Pye-Scores as Pye-Scores is taken down after another pickup of 3. So that'll bring up third and looks like 4. Sequoyah got to get to the 43-yard line. Ball on the 39. So 2 runs up the middle to start the game for the Chiefs. Trainer settles under center again. 2 running backs behind him. No wing backs to the side. Now handoff up the middle again and surging forward for a first down is going to be Jack Pye-Scores as he picks up 2 extra yards, and that'll move the chains for the Sequoyah Chiefs.
That's exactly right, Chase. And Pye-Scores and Lucas are going to be those 2 senior guys that the Chiefs are going to go to a lot to get their short runs and their first down plays as well, like we just saw there.
So first down for the Chiefs after 3 straight runs up the middle. Trainer going to fake this one, rolls out of the pocket, finds Lucas. Lucas on the far sideline, and he's going to cross the sticks for another first down. So another play, another first down for the Sequoyah Chiefs, and we see our first passing play of the evening. So we'll move the chains. Sequoyah on the right side of the field now as they are on Cherokee's 45-yard line. Snap taken, handoff up the middle again. Bouncing to the outside is Pye-Scores. Pye-Scores has a man draped over his back, and he'll pick up 9 yards, and Sequoyah's offense is cooking here in the first quarter of play. So 2nd and 1 for the Chiefs as the running game is firing on all cylinders here on their first offensive possession of this contest.
That's right, Chase. And Hancock's one of those guys that's going to be deadly for the Chiefs on offense and defense.
Not a whole lot on that run as they might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage. Jackson Hancock on the carry for the Chiefs. So the first play for Sequoyah that goes for no yardage will bring up 2nd and 10. So 9-10 left to go in the first quarter of play. Sequoiah's offense, though, on a mission as they're on Cherokee's side of the field. 2nd and 10. Trainer takes the snap, rolls out of the pocket. He's going to be chased from behind. He's going to roll out. Now he's got a lot of space in front of him. A nice block. He gets the first down. Now he's at the 10. He's going to cross over. Correction, he's down at the 15. So a big run there by Matthew Trainer, and the Chiefs are now in the Cherokee red zone.
And you know, Chase, that's not something the Chiefs really have to worry about, is if Trainer can't find a receiver or a running back, he can always take it himself and get the first down like he just did there.
So 1st and 10 for Sequoyah. Ball spotted on the 17-yard line. Trainer nestles under center. Hands this one off up the middle. Pie scores, moving the pile, and he's knocked down just beyond the 10-yard line. And that'll make it 2nd and 3 for Sequoyah. Will, right now, Cherokee has no answer for this Sequoyah Chiefs run game. Can the Chiefs keep going all the way into the end zone, basically just running the ball up the middle?
Yeah, the Chiefs are just running to this wing tee to absolute perfection, bleeding out clock and just putting together short running plays and getting first downs here.
2 running backs in the backfield now. This one going to be handed off to Pie scores. He bounces to the outside. He's got a lane. He's headed for the pylon. Touchdown, Sequoyah Chiefs, as Jack Pie scores, finds the edge, and dives into the end zone for a touchdown. Pie scores does a fantastic job of improvising there. He shed one tackle and then bounced to the outside and was able to find some real estate and plugged it in the end zone. And Sequoyah scores on their first offensive possession of this game. And the extra point's going to be blocked. So it'll stay 6-0 Sequoyah with 7:59 left to go in the opening quarter. We'll get our first look at this Cherokee Warriors offense. So a great first offensive drive for the Chiefs. 1 pass play and everything else were runs. And they were able to execute to perfection as Sequoyah takes an early lead here in the first quarter of the contest as they are up 6-0 on the Cherokee Warriors. So as Sequoyah gets set to kick off. As this one's teed up, Joseph Ryan set to kick this one away for the Chiefs. It's a high kick, not a lot of leg on that one. Caught at the 23-yard line, going up the near side of the field and going to be tackled at about the 37-yard line. So Cherokee with decent field position as we see their offense come out onto the field for the first time today.
That's right, Chase. And with Cherokee's offense, we'll be seeing a completely different look than the Chiefs. They have typically use 4 wide receivers, 2 on either side and a running back. So it's definitely the opposite of what the Chiefs had. They'll be doing more passing plays, whereas the Chiefs are more running plays.
I want to thank all of you watching on ChiefsTV.org. Cherokee getting ready to get their first offensive series underway. 4 wide receivers, 2 on each side. Far side wide receiver comes in motion. That's Harshaw. He's going to come into the slot. On the near side of the field, snap taken by Swan, handed off to Z Johnson, and Johnson starting to move the pile a little bit, maybe picks up 2 yards on the first run play of the game. Looks like they're going to spot him 3 yards ahead, so 2nd and 7 coming up for the Warriors. 7:30 left to go in the first quarter. Chiefs ahead 6-0, courtesy of a Jack Pie scores touchdown run. Swan in the shotgun, ball in the middle of the field on the 40-yard line. Fullback in motion, hands this one off to Johnson again. He's trying to find the edge, and he's going to be run into after a pickup of 1 yard by Brenton Darling, as a nice form tackle by Darling there. Takes Johnson down, and now 3rd and 6 coming up for the Warriors.
And you know, Chase, something we talked about pregame was the Chiefs' young secondary, and we'll be really looking for them to step up and stop that Cherokee defense early, and so far they've been doing a good job of that.
Ball on the near hash now. 2 running backs flanking Swan on each side. Takes the snap, drops back. He's going to pass this one. He's got a little pressure, and that one's going to be knocked away. Oh, and a flag comes in late. They're going to say he wrapped around him, and Rowan Steele going to be the offending Chief. And that will move the chains for the Cherokee Warriors. So a very late flag comes in after the pass deflection. As we're still waiting on the call.
During the play, pass interference, defense, 15-yard penalty from the previous squad. First down.
So the biggest gain Cherokee's had all game is courtesy of a flag as they move into Chiefs territory. So a big momentum shift there as Sequoyah looked to get Cherokee's offense off the field fast, but a pass interference penalty is going to give the Warriors new life. Tight formation here for the Warriors. Swan standing right on the Chiefs logo. 1st and 10, fakes the handoff. No, he gives it to Harshaw. Harshaw trying to find the edge, but he is swarmed by a host of Sequoyah Chiefs and maybe got back to the line of scrimmage. Will, so far it looks like Sequoyah's defense doing a pretty good job of stalling out this Warrior offense.
Yeah, and Cherokee tried a running play there, which is, again, not one of their strengths. So Sequoyah was able to actually bring it back for a loss of about 1 or 2 yards.
Snap taken by Swan. Quick pass to the outside. It's to Harshaw. He's got some room to work on the sideline. He's headed out of bounds after a big pickup by Harshaw. So a quick pass catches the Chiefs napping. And the Warriors pick up a big gain, and they're working inside the
over here on us.
So we're all tied up at 6 apiece. Dahl getting ready to. As Sequoyah comes back out onto the field, Trainer stays under center, throwing a little bit of a different look out here at. Clock still ticking away, 3:36 left to go in the first quarter. Sequoyah and Cherokee all tied up at 6 apiece, able to score touchdowns, but both of their extra points were no good. Sequoyah's was blocked, and Dahl topped the ball. Trainer rolls out of the pocket. He's got company in the backfield, and he's just going to have to get rid of it, and he throws that one away, and that might be intentional grounding as there wasn't a Chief in the area. We'll see if the flag comes in. No flag so far, but that'll to his right-hand side, pitches this one ahead for Lucas. Off by Jackson Hancock all the way down at the 10-yard line. And Sequoyah capitalizes on the pressure from Avery Bourne. Swan just threw one up, and Jackson Hancock was there to bring it down. So Sequoyah, with the first turnover of the game, gives them the ball back here with 2:33 left to go in the first quarter. So Sequoyah starting deep in their own end, ball on the 10-yard line. Tyler Bell going to check into the game at wingback for the Chiefs. And he's going to get the carry, and he'll be dropped for a loss. As Cherokee coming up for the Chiefs as the clock continues to run here in the first quarter of play. Will, last year this was a close game in the opening as well as Trainer settles under center. And Cherokee getting a little antsy again to get off the snap. I formation. And we've got a false start call.
Offense, 5-yard penalty, still second down.
So a false start, and I guess the center must have moved the ball. And that'll push Sequoyah back to their own 45-yard line, and mistakes eating Sequoyah up, especially penalties, as the clock begins to run with 10 seconds left, as it looks like Sequoyah just going to let the clock run out on the first quarter. So that'll do it here after one. Your score, Cherokee 6, Sequoyah 6. An interesting first quarter there, but the Chiefs seem to be holding their own.
Yeah, most definitely. The key player in that so far has been Jack Piescores. I mean, he's already scored a touchdown. He's been running the ball all over this Cherokee team. He's really just been finding the gaps and being able to take advantage of them tonight so far.
So Sequoyah's running game doing well, but Sequoyah got to stop getting these penalties. The first penalty kept the drive alive for Cherokee, and that one led to a Cherokee touchdown as Harshaw was able to take it to the house on a reverse. It was almost like he was untouched. I mean, every Sequoyah player was on the opposite side of the field. And then, just now we saw a false start penalty that really didn't need to happen, and Matthew Traynor had an intentional grounding. So all things considered, Sequoyah having a pretty good first quarter here, still tied up with Cherokee at 6 apiece.
That's correct, Chase. I believe they've already had 3 offensive penalties, and then obviously that one with Cherokee was on offense. So they're really going to need to cut back on that, because that's really going to hinder them late in the game, especially if they commit those. They're not going to be able to come back into the game, and Cherokee's just going to be able to run away with it.
So 30 penalty yards on 3 penalties for the Chiefs and 5 yards on 1 penalty for Cherokee. As we flip the field, 2nd and 13 coming up. Sequoyah on the 45. Got to get all the way down to the other 42. As we get ready to get underway here in the second quarter. Jackson Hancock was able to pick off A.J. Swan down on the 10-yard line when he fired a missile down toward the Chiefs' end zone. So we're getting ready to get underway here for the second quarter. Traynor under center. 1 wide receiver out on the far side. Wingback motions to the near side of the field. Traynor rolls out, finds Jackson Hancock, who's all by himself, and it looks like he's going to pick up the first down. They're going to mark him a yard short, so 3rd and 1 coming up for Sequoyah. On a big pickup there by Jackson Hancock.
Yeah, and Hancock's having quite a night as well, too, with that interception and also a couple receptions on the offensive side of the ball. And marked just short of the first down, but still having a good night.
Under center, takes the snap, hands off to Piescores. Piescores gets the first down and still pushing the pile as he'll rumble ahead for 7 yards. So that'll move the chains, and Sequoyah with a fresh set of downs. Sequoyah going quick here. Going to stay in this I formation look. 25 seconds left on the play clock. 11:34 left to go. Handoff now to Hancock, and Hancock's going to get tripped up and go down after a pickup of 3. 2nd and 7 coming up for Sequoyah. A fantastic crowd on hand tonight here for this Sequoyah Cherokee game. I want to thank everybody for coming out. We want to thank everybody for joining us on ChiefsTV.org. I am Chase Shaffer. Joining me is my esteemed colleague, Will Hoogendyk. As Matthew Traynor settles under center, Sequoyah really rocking this I formation look here tonight. Traynor going to look back over to the sideline for the play call. Play clock running down, 5 seconds left. Traynor gets it off, handoff up the middle and met immediately by 2 Cherokee Warriors. Jackson Hancock. And it looked like Goddard on the tackle for the Warriors. So that brings up 3rd and 6 for Sequoyah. Ball on the 32-yard line. Sequoyah got to get down to the 25. So Trainer under center again. Motion to the far side of the field. That was Bell. Now fakes the handoff. Rolling out of the pocket is Trainer. Trainer fires a dart, and that one's going to be waiting for the call. And it's caught. So a big catch along the sideline by Ashton Hunt. And he keeps the drive alive for the Sequoyah Chiefs. And once again, the Chiefs are in the Warriors' red zone. So Ashton Hunt, the senior wide receiver, keeps the dream alive for the Sequoyah Chiefs as they get a fresh set of downs. Now they got to get down to the Cherokee 8-yard line. Settling under center once again. Sequoyah in an I formation. Hands this one off to Pie Scores again. No, that's Hancock. And Hancock going to pick up 6 yards on the run. As he was brought down by Morgan Cox, a 6-foot linebacker for the Warriors. .854 left to go in the half. 2nd and 5 for the Chiefs. Got to get down to the 8-yard line. Sequoyah in Cherokee's red zone for the 2nd time tonight. Hand off to Pie Scores. Pie Scores, no, that's Hancock. As Hancock going to pick up about 3 yards. And that'll make it 3rd and 2 for the Chiefs.
And Chase, it's looking like Cherokee's starting to get a better read of that Sequoyah run game, starting to lock down on their plays a little bit earlier than they have been.
So Cherokee going to go ahead and regroup as they take their first time out of the half. The score is still 6-6 with 8:25 left to go in the first half, but the Chiefs are driving and in danger of putting this one in the end zone. So, Will, once again, let's just go ahead and talk about Jack Pie Scores real quick. It seems like he has been the workhorse for the Sequoyah Chiefs offense as they've been giving him the ball over and over again. They've started to get Jackson Hancock in the mix a little bit here in the second quarter, but he's having a hard time breaking free. But Pie Scores is able to bounce to the outside and find that open real estate.
Yeah, not only has Pie Scores had quite a night so far, but looking back at his Woodstock performance last week, he was able to have a 100-yard game last week, and he's, just having quite a great season. I believe last year he only scored 2 touchdowns. This year he's already scored 1, having many rushing yards and as well as some receptions. So he's really improved a lot over the summer.
Sequoyah had 346 rushing yards last week against the Woodstock Wolverines, and they're picking up right where they left off. They had 200-yard rushers in Peyton Lucas and Jack Pie Scores. As Trainer takes the handoff, he's going to roll out, finds Lucas. Lucas headed to the end zone. Touchdown, Chiefs. And Sequoyah goes back ahead of the Warriors with 8:18 left to go in the first half. And Will Sequoyah on only their second pass attempt of the the third pass attempt of the evening is able to find pay dirt as Peyton Lucas catches that one and dances into the end zone. And this one, the extra point goes up and good. So Sequoyah ahead of Cherokee 13-6 with 8:10 left to go in the first half.
And Chase, Lucas usually being one of those names that we're calling over and over again, but tonight he hasn't gotten as many carries, but it's good to see him get that touchdown.
So we'll go ahead and thank our sponsors here while they flip the field. Will, take it away, brother.
Alrighty, we'd like to thank our Sequoyah Chiefs football sponsors. First, we have Pride Electric, longtime supporters and past Chiefs football alumni at Pride Electric. They are proud to remain part of the Sequoyah family of Chiefs. Next, we have All About Health in Woodstock on Highway 92, located in the Publix Plaza. Since 1998,
he flips the field as Sequoyah no answers with the running game up the middle for the Cherokee Warriors, as they have put together a long drive here and are going to try to respond to the Peyton Lucas touchdown reception. Fires along the near side, and that one's going to be dropped. But they're going to say he caught it and went out of bounds, so a pickup of 9. And a nice catch there by Caleb Richardson, the senior wide receiver. So Richardson caught it and then dropped the ball, and it rolled out of bounds. They're going to say it was a complete completion and then a fumble. 2nd and short now for Cherokee. They're in the Sequoyah red zone. Handoff to Johnson again, and finally swarmed up by a host of Chiefs for no gain. So that makes it 3rd and short for the Warriors, as we have a flag at the end of the play. We have a flag and a shoe. And we'll see what the call is here as we have laundry on the turf. Our GHSA officials talking it over. Could be a big momentum swing if this goes against Cherokee. So we await the call from our head official.
After the play is over, dead ball, personal
Oh,
foul.
and it's going to go against the Chiefs.
Defense. That's half the distance to the goal. Results in a first down.
So half the distance to the goal, and that'll give Cherokee a first down on a dead ball foul by the Chiefs. So Cherokee well within striking distance now. Man coverage on the outside for Harashaw. As Aiden Moore motions across to the near side of the field, handoff to Johnson again, and Johnson headed to the end zone, but he'll be stopped just short at about the 2. And with 5:25 left to go in the half, still on top of Cherokee by a touchdown, 13-6. Trainer pitches this one outside, and we've got a whistle, and they're going to say false start on the Chiefs, as Sequoyah just can't avoid the yellow laundry. Will, for a wing T offense, this is not what you want to see, a long down situation. As Sequoyah plagued by errors here, as it's flag after flag, but a big stand there by the defense to give them an opportunity to get it back.
Yeah, that's correct, Chase. The wing T weaknesses are power plays and deep passing plays. Short running plays, are more of their forte. But the Chiefs have been able to put together some good drives here tonight so far.
One wide receiver out far. Bell gonna motion now, handoff up the middle. This one's for Peyton Lucas, and Lucas has got a lot of room, and he'll pick up a bunch. And it looks like it's gonna be 2nd and 8 coming up for the Chiefs. Nope, 2nd and 6, so Lucas got even more than we thought, as that Sequoyah Chiefs run game is picking up some big chunk yardage. Ashkin Hunt, the wide receiver on the far side of the field, ball on the near side. Trainer under center. Motion to the far side, to the near side again. And trying to bounce outside is Lucas, and nothing doing there, as he's tackled for maybe a loss. So Will, 3rd down and 5 for the Chiefs. Let's see what they come up with.
Yeah, most definitely. Again, with that wing T, they'll probably be looking to run it to the outside here rather than the middle, so they'll be looking to open up those gaps on the edges.
Big 3rd down for Sequoyah in the shadow of their own end zone. Trainer going to roll out, has some pressure, tries to dance and do it himself, but he is going to be dropped for a sack, and that'll bring up 4th down for Sequoyah. As the drive sputters out with 4 minutes, AV.org, as the penalty backs the Warriors all the way up to the 30-yard line. So Cherokee going to start on their own 30. Shotgun formation for Swan. 3 wide receivers to the far side. He takes the snap, hands this one off to Z Johnson, and Johnson is wrapped up and taken down for no gain.
Z Johnson was someone who got a lot of looks last drive as he was running up the middle a lot, and so they'll be looking for him to get more reps this drive as well.
Johnson doing a fantastic job on the last drive of going up the middle. So Swan takes the snap, drops back deep. Avery Bourne's right in his face, chasing him down. Let's see what Swan does with it. He lets it rip. And that one going to be caught on the sideline. A fantastic job of bringing that one down by Weston Bergman. I can't tell if that jersey's a 2 or a 3. Might have been Aiden Moore. But a big pickup for the Warriors and a new set of downs as they're creeping close to midfield. 2:28 left to go in the first half. Cherokee looking to try and
Industry-leading products and solutions to satisfy the construction needs of our community. Ready Mix USA is honored to help build a better future for Cherokee County and the greater Atlanta area.
So 2:04 left to go in the first half. Cherokee knocking on the door. Ball at the 9-yard line. Shotgun formation. 2 wide receivers on the near side. Harshaw in motion now. Hard count there, and they're going to draw Sequoyah offside.
Encroachment against the defense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
So even coming out of the timeout, Sequoyah jumps into the neutral zone.
Half the distance to the goal. First down.
And that will move the Warriors to the 4-yard line. So first down and goal from the 4-yard line for the Cherokee Warriors. A chance to tie this one up before halftime. Snap taken, handed off to Z Johnson again. And Johnson, did he get in? No, he's going to be down at the 1-yard line, still waiting on a signal from the official. Looks like they're going to mark him down at 1 yard. And with 1:50 left to go, it'll be second and a trip and fall for the Cherokee Warriors.
Run at the goal line, bring up second down. Get loud, Chief Ends.
Quarterback sneak coming from Cherokee as Swan tries to stick it over, and he does. Touchdown, Swan, and Cherokee looking to tie this one back up. As A.J. Swan runs up to the line of scrimmage, snaps it real quick, and sticks his arm over the goal line. So with 1:30 left, Cherokee with a chance to tie it up, pending the point after. So call out there to kick the extra point for the Warriors. 1:30 left to go in the first half. Snap is good, kick is up, and that one's through the uprights. So we're all tied up at 13 apiece here with 1:30 left to go in the first half. Once again, Cherokee, no trouble marching down to Sequoyah side of the field and scoring.
Yeah, and Chase, going back to our pregame assessment, that was one of the things that the Chiefs were really going to have to work on, was at that young secondary. And so far, they haven't been able to step up as much as Sequoyah has needed them to. And Cherokee's just been able to get a little too much footing in this game, and Chiefs.
He'll come out wide as the wide receiver. Under center again for the Chiefs. Motion to the near side. Here comes the pitch, and Sequoyah, no gain again with 42 seconds left to go. And Cherokee going to go ahead and call a timeout.
Cherokee. Second charge time.
So Cherokee looking to try and get the ball back and get another quick score before going into the locker room. As Sequoyah appears as though they're just trying to keep the ball away from Cherokee and go into the halftime break tied at 13.
Strong graphics booth next to the concession stand.
So I want to thank everybody once again for joining us on ChiefsTV.org. It's a beautiful night here at Skip Popp Memorial Stadium. And a good game as well, as Sequoyah and Cherokee all tied up at 13 apiece. And we get the whistle to come back out to the field of play. Cherokee with one timeout left. So let's see what Sequoyah's offense comes up with on 3rd and long. And Trainer going to keep it himself. He rolls to the outside and a lot of space, but takes a big hit after he crosses the first down line. As a big hit was laid on him by Ryan O'Keefe, the senior defensive back. But Sequoyah seems content to take a 13-13 tie into the locker room as they are taking their time. And we've got another whistle. Not sure what we're waiting on here. Still trying to figure something out, some discussion going on. They've reset the clock, and now the clock's running again. And another pitch to the outside, and that one's going to be taken by Hancock. And Hancock goes down, and that'll do it for the first half here at Skip Popp Memorial Stadium. Your score at the horn, the Sequoyah Chiefs holding court against the Cherokee Warriors 13-13. So, Will, if you're a Chiefs fan, got to be pleased with that first half. Cherokee came into this game heavily favored, and Sequoyah doing a fantastic job of matching them blow for blow.
Yeah, that's correct. Sequoyah's really been doing a lot of things right. Going into the second half, they're going to want to cut down on the penalties as well as trying to read that Cherokee offense a little bit better. They're letting Cherokee get a little too much wiggle room before they start cutting back. But at that point, it's usually a bit too late. So that's what they're going to want to work on going into the locker room.
So, Will, we're going to let you take a little break real quick. And joining me in the booth now from High School Football America is going to be Jeff Fisher as we let him get his headset on here just a second. Jeff, thank you so much for joining us here at the Skip Popp Memorial Stadium for this excellent game so far between Sequoyah and Cherokee.
Nothing beats a rivalry game, no matter what state you're in the United States. This is a good one.
So, Jeff, tell us a little bit about High School Football America.
High School Football America is my wife calls it my most expensive hobby that I have, but seriously, I've been a long-time sports anchor, getting paid by people, and about 17 years ago, my wife and I decided that we were going to put our money where our mouth is and start our own site, and that was called High School Football America, which grew out of everything I've been doing since I was 14 years old. We cover the nation. We happen to live in Canton, Georgia now. We moved here last year. This is probably the final resting place for us, meaning we're not moving again. We've moved around the country to kind of put boots on the ground. So Philadelphia, where I'm from, Chicago, Los Angeles. Now we're in the Southeast. You guys play some pretty darn good football here.
Speaking of some pretty darn good football, what's the assessment of the first half of this contest so far?
Well, you know what? First off, again, I'm from Philadelphia, right? So we call it the Delaware wing tee there. You can't call it just the wing tee.
Well, that's where it's from. It's from the University of Delaware.
But around here, around the country, it says, oh, it's the wing tee. I'm like, no, Tubby Raymond would be very upset if he heard that. But, it's always hard to plan for and game for. I think Sequoyah is doing an awesome job of controlling the tempo. Little surprised that Cherokee's running the ball as much as they are.
Yeah, it looks like that Sequoyah front seven is having a really hard time containing Z Johnson. It looks like whenever they run him on an ISO, he just blows that defensive line wide open and just gashes Sequoyah. Sequoyah not really helping themselves either. They've had a couple costly penalties that have really swung the momentum in Cherokee's favor.
Yeah, and you have that early in the season, right? I think we forget that it's only game 2 at this point, but I love the energy here in the stadium. First time I've been here for a game. I saw Cherokee last week against Mays. I love Georgia football. People ask me all the time, where's the best football around the country? And I always answer the politically correct answer, which is it's everywhere. But what I've said, and I say this unequivocally, is Georgia plays some of the most physical football in America. There's great athletes in Los Angeles, in Florida, but you guys stick people here, and you pick them up and you stick it again. It reminds me of Pennsylvania football.
And, that's one thing that Sequoyah is going to do really well. Their region also has some North Fulton County teams, which are Atlanta teams, that play a little bit more of a speedy, finesse kind of football. So I think Sequoyah's bruiser style is really going to help them out when they get into region play, particularly against some of these Fulton County teams. We saw it last year as they rattled off 4 wins in their last 5 games, and the only game they lost was to another Cherokee County team that went to the state quarterfinals before getting beat by the eventual state champions. So Sequoyah really at an advantage in that regard, but I think we've seen a fantastic game. So let's shift gears for a second, Jeff.
Sure.
You said you moved to Canton, Georgia.
Yes.
So one of the things you guys do at High School Football America is you have a hometown team. So what was kind of the science behind choosing the Cherokee Warriors for your hometown team this year?
You're putting me on the spot here. I've had that question asked several times. I got to be honest with you. We did it because throughout the first 17 years, we've always lived in big cities. So in Los Angeles, you have 660 teams. So you were going to upset one of the 600 or 659, and you had one happy. We felt when we came to a smaller town, we would start, and I just decided that it was the oldest school coming out of Canton High, and we based it on that. But the truth of the matter is we're going to do this every year. Like I said, this is it for us, so we're going to do this year in and year out and promote it. We have some big plans for staying here in Canton. I can't tell you right now, but we intend to make Canton, Georgia, the epicenter of high school football, and I'll leave it at that. It's a pretty big tease, though.
Well, you've got some excellent programs to choose from, obviously. You know, Cherokee has been doing very well recently, and they're, one of the blue blood programs here in Cherokee County. You got Sequoyah River Ridge has been doing a fantastic job. They really turned that ship around over there with Coach Collins as they got all the way to the state quarterfinals last year, basically with Amir Morrison rushing for almost 2,000 yards, and he's the returning offensive player of the year over there at River Ridge. And then Creekview. Creekview has historically been a pretty solid program since they had their first varsity to come and talk to us on the halftime show, and we really appreciate you coming, and hopefully we'll see you here for years to come.
Oh, absolutely. Thanks for the time.
Fans, thank you so much for joining us here on ChiefsTV.org. I'm going to step away from the microphone for a second and let you listen to this band show brought to you by the Sequoyah Marching Band of Chiefs and the Cherokee County Warriors Band as well. Once again, we'll be back after a short intermission. Your score at halftime, Sequoyah 13, Cherokee 13 as well.
School proudly presents the award-winning Sequoyah High School Marching Band and Juice. The band of Chiefs is under the direction of the Director of Band, Mr. Cason. Additional band instructors include Brian Popp, Dennis Martin, Daniel Krauser, Billy Waddell, Ian Rooster, and Scott Jones. The student band leadership includes Cason Gilbert,
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Skip Popp Memorial Stadium here in Canton, Georgia. It is a wonderful night for football here, and if you're just joining us, it is a fantastic contest right now. The Sequoyah Chiefs have tied the Cherokee Warriors at the end of the first half. It is 13-13, with both teams exchanging haymakers. In the first half of this contest, to kick the scoring off, it was Sequoyah. They marched all the way down the field on their opening possession, and Jack Pye Scores was able to punch that one in to the end zone to give Sequoyah a 6-0 lead. The extra point was blocked by Cherokee, though. Cherokee returned fire and walked all the way down to the opposite side of the field and scored on a Darius Harshaw reverse. And that one tied it up after Dahl topped the extra point attempt. Sequoyah was able to score in the second quarter thanks to a passing touchdown to Peyton Lucas, courtesy of Matthew Trainer. And Cherokee turned right around and drove down the field, but the Sequoyah Chiefs defense was able to stiffen up on the goal line and force a turnover. Sequoyah had nothing happen on their next offensive possession as they had to punt that one away, and Cherokee marched right back down the field again, this time punching it in for a touchdown to make it 13-13. So we're about 2 minutes away from getting into the second half of this contest here in Canton, Georgia. Will, what's the assessment of the first half here?
Well, you know, Chase, penalties are something that plagued the Chiefs a bit in that first half. They had that one on the first Cherokee offensive drive that gave Cherokee just the advantage they needed in order to score that first touchdown. And they've also had quite a few on their own offensive possessions that have just set them back a little bit. Because as we've said, the wing tee is a short run game primary, so they are not into those big power plays and deep.
The Sequoyah Chiefs half. So, Will, let's see if Sequoyah's come up with an answer for that rushing game that's been gashing them. But if you're a Sequoyah fan, you've got to be thinking better to be gashed by the rushing game than for A.J. Swan to pick you apart.
That's correct. A.J. Swan, again, a D1 commit, so he can do a really good job of being able to see those open passes and connect with them. And we did see that a little bit in the first half, but again, more so that run game that they were able to have a lot of success with. A.J.
Swan committed to the Maryland Terrapins. He's going to go play Big Ten football next year. His primary weapon at wide receiver, Darius Harshaw, going to go play for the Utes of the University of Utah in the Pac-12. Snap taken, handed off to Z Johnson, tries to bounce to the outside, and he is going to be wrapped up and taken down after a 1-yard gain.
And Chase, that's great news for Chiefs fan already. The first play of the drive, they are able to stuff him right away and only give him 1 yard.
Carter Sandt with the initial contact for the Chiefs. So Carter Sandt with a big stop there as he gets first contact on Johnson and holds him to a gain of 1. 2nd and 9 coming up for Cherokee. 2 wide receivers in close. Harshaw in motion to the far side of the field. Hard snap by Swan. Harshaw going to get set up in the slot. Snap taken by Swan. Hands this one off to Johnson. Johnson is tackled again after a short gain. Maybe got 1 yard, and that'll bring up 3rd and long for the Cherokee Warriors. Will, not the first time this evening Sequoyah has had Cherokee in a 3rd and long situation. Let's see if they can clean it up this time and finish the job.
That's correct. Let's just hope that the Chiefs don't get a penalty here and give the Cherokee an advantage that the Chiefs do not want to give them.
So 3rd and 7 coming up, maybe 3rd and 7. A.J. Swan takes the snap, fakes the handoff, drops back, got a clean pocket, gonna move out to the side. That one's tipped and it goes up in the air and falls to the turf harmlessly. Great job there once again by Carter Sandt on the deflection, and that'll bring up 4th down. So on the first offensive series of the half, Cherokee gonna have to punt this one back to Sequoyah.
So whatever the Chiefs came up with in the locker room seems to be working great so far. They only gave him a total of 3 yards that entire drive. So they did a really good job of locking down quickly and just stifling that Cherokee run game as soon as possible.
So Matthew Trainer back to receive the punt for the Chiefs. 10:24 left to go in the 3rd quarter. Still all tied up at 13 apiece as Cherokee on their first offensive possession of the half, unable to make anything happen. Swan also the punter for Cherokee. Nice one there as it's high, and Trainer going to signal a fair catch as he takes that one at the 32-yard line. Trainer not really known for taking a bunch of fair catches, but makes a good decision there. And Sequoyah will start with decent field position on their own 32-yard line. So we'll see Sequoyah. Let's see what they come up with for the beginning of the second half. Trainer still under center. Still working that push in the pile. And picks up about 5 or 6 yards. Correction, that was 30 left to go in the third quarter. Sequoyah starting to slow it down a little bit. Sequoyah in the shotgun for the first time tonight. Handoff taken, and Sequoyah going to pick up, looks like 5 yards on the Jackson Hancock run. So that'll bring up 3rd and 6 for the Chiefs. Maybe 3rd and 7. Time continuing to tick away. Cherokee with a 6-point lead over Sequoyah, 19-13. Trainer in the shotgun, flushed out, and he's going to be wrapped up for a loss. So Sequoyah starting to fall apart here in the second half, and the punt unit will come out for the Chiefs. So a big sack for Cherokee pushes Sequoyah all the way back to the 18-yard line. Sequoyah thought they were going to start on the 37 after the big Matthew Trainer kickoff return, but a block in the back stopped that. Bad snap on the punt. Yard line, Sequoyah looking to keep Cherokee out of the end zone. 2 wide receivers to the near side. Swan drops back, fires a dart, and that one is going to be caught by a Darius Harshaw for a Cherokee touchdown. And Cherokee starting to walk away from the Sequoyah Chiefs with 1:30 left to go in the third quarter. So a disastrous punt attempt leads to a Cherokee touchdown, Will.
Yeah, within a matter of a few minutes, it went from 13-13 to Cherokee at the moment 25-13. Just a bad turn of events for the Chiefs here. Things kind of just fell apart pretty quickly.
So Dahl in for the extra point for Cherokee. Good snap, kick is down, and that one's going to go through the uprights. So with 1:30 left to go in the third, that'll make it 26-13 Cherokee.
Well, Chase, I'm not sure what the biggest blow to the Chiefs' momentum here was, but they're looking a little deflated, so they're going to need some riling up here. They're down by 13. They're going to need to put together another promising drive like they had that first. And it didn't end the way they wanted to. A little bit of a disappointing result. But the Chiefs are going to need to put something big here together now to get back in this game.
So Trainer and Hancock back to receive for the Chiefs. Sequoyah needs a big return here that's not marred by a block in the back. As all the momentum has quickly swung to Cherokee's favor. So Dahl lines this one up, and he's going to send it towards Trainer. And Trainer going to watch that one sail out of the back of the end zone. So Sequoyah going to start on their own 20-yard line, and they've got to get something going, down 2 scores with 1:30 left to go in the third. So here comes the Chiefs offense. As Trainer settles in under center. Wing back in motion, handoff up the middle, and maybe a gain of 2. So Sequoyah still trying to run the ball right at the heart of the Cherokee Warriors defense, and they'll pick up 2 yards. As the clock continues to run, 1:04 left to go in the third. Trainer in the shotgun, 2nd and 8 for the Chiefs, deep in their own end. Man in motion, they're going to hand that one off, and Trainer fumbles the football and recovers it 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage. As Sequoyah unable to get out of their own way here in the third quarter. So 3rd and 11 coming up for the Chiefs. 17 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Trainer settles in under center. Rolls out, drops back, gets chased out. Now he's got to do it with his legs. He finds a little room on the outside and stays back in and picks up the first down. So Matthew Trainer with a little improv, ready to go quietly into that good night. As they're building a little momentum, and that will be the end of the third quarter here from Skip Popp Stadium. Your score, Cherokee in the driver's seat, 26-13 over the Sequoyah Chiefs. Will, everything that went wrong could go wrong for Sequoyah in that quarter.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, it all started with that flag after the Trainer catch off of the punt, and I mean after that drive just it wasn't it for the Chiefs. They fumbled the ball, and just after that everything really did not go their way. So Chiefs will be looking to put that behind them and start fresh here this fourth quarter.
So Cherokee with a gimme towards the end of the third quarter, as the officials said the bad snap was a fumble, and as soon as the punter touched it to pick it back up, they whistled it dead. So we get ready to go here in the fourth and final quarter of play. Sequoyah trailing by 13, but the offense building a little momentum here. Let's see if they can mount a fourth quarter comeback. Trainer now back on the field. Good to see him after he was getting attended to by the medical staff. Trainer under center. Handoff up the middle, and a good pickup there by Tyler Bell. And that makes it 2nd and medium for Sequoyah. Got to get to the opposite 49-yard line. Looks like 2nd and 4 coming up for the Chiefs. With Bell on the carry. Will, we haven't seen Sequoyah change it up a whole lot tonight, as the pitch to the outside for Bell again, and he's maybe picking up the first down. They might spot him a yard short, but that'll bring up 3rd and 1 for Sequoyah. So the second straight handoff to the sophomore Tyler Bell. And Sequoyah right at midfield, needs to get to the 49-yard line for the first down. 11:05 left to go in the contest. Trainer gets in position, and he sneaks it across the first down yard line, and Sequoyah gets a brand new set of downs. So a good sneak there for the Chiefs, and that'll set them up on the 47-yard line. And they are now in Cherokee territory. As Sequoyah trying to claw back into position. Trainer under center, going to hand this one off up the middle to Peyton Lucas, who tries to spin ahead, but he'll pick up 3 yards. So 2nd and 7 for Sequoyah as we are now at the 10-minute to go mark. Sequoyah still trying to hold on to the all-time series lead, but Cherokee lately has been chipping away at that, and if the score holds tonight, they'll get another game. It'll be 14-12. Sweep out to Jackson, and he's taken down for a loss of 1. So Hancock loses a yard on the pitch play. And Sequoyah now forced into a 3rd and 8 situation. Trainer under center, hands this one off up the middle again to Peyton Lucas. He gets free, and he's going to pick up the first down, but he'll be drugged down at the 30-yard line, and Sequoyah going to get a new set of downs after a big by Peyton Lucas, the Sequoyah fullback, as he's taken down at the 30-yard line.
And Sequoyah starting to put together a drive here, but bleeding the clock out's not going to be in their advantage on this drive. They really want to get some quick passing plays or maybe even big runs in order to get the ball back to them so they can score.
Trainer changing it up at the line, back in that power I formation. Hands this one off up the middle. Following his blockers is Hancock, still trying to surge ahead, and he's finally brought down after a pickup of 8 yards. So a good first run for Sequoyah, and that'll bring up 2nd and 2. And Sequoyah knocking on the door of the Cherokee red zone. Ball in the 22-yard line. Sequoyah got to get to the 20. 8 minutes and 20 seconds left to go. Sequoyah not in any hurry just yet. Play clock to 15. Trainer taking his time. Now settles in, hands this one off, and it's going to be Bell again, and Bell will pick up the first down and some change. So Sequoyah now inside the red zone as the ball spotted at the 16-yard line. So Sequoyah putting together a good drive here. Let's see if they can cram it home. 7:42 left to go in the game. Trainer settles in, takes the snap, hands this one off. It's going to be a run up the middle for Hancock. Hancock churning the legs, and he's going to pick up a good chunk of that 10 yards, maybe about 7. So 2nd and 3 coming up for Sequoyah. Ball on the 10-yard line. Sequoyah really starting to lean on that Cherokee Warriors front 7. Trainer again, hand off to Bell, and Bell stood up as soon as he crosses the line of scrimmage, but he falls ahead, and I'm not sure if he got the yardage to get a first down. If he missed it, he didn't miss it by much. So 3rd and very short for Sequoyah. A new set of downs will give him 6 yards to the end zone. 6:42 left to go in the game. 26-13, Cherokee on top of Sequoyah. Trainer hands this one off. There's a little room on the right side and stopped just short. It is going to be Jackson Hancock. So Sequoyah knocking on the door. It's a one-score game and get a defensive stop. They might be back in business.
That's exactly right, Chase. And so far, their offense has been able to do a better job than they have in the third quarter. So they'll be counting on their defense to do a better job as well.
Trainer tries to sneak it. Did he get in? Let's see what they say. The Chiefs think he got in. Oh, and they're going to call him down just short. So Sequoyah inches a little bit closer. And we've got a timeout for a player down on the field. Looks like we've got an injured Warrior. But it looks like he pops up and starts making his way off the field, so that's good to see. We don't want to see anybody get hurt here. 6:01 left to go in the fourth. Sequoyah trying to punch it in from the 1-yard line. If that, Trainer unsuccessful on the first down attempt to get in. Sequoyah's got 2 more chances, and now we've got more whistles as Cherokee's going to take a timeout and talk about it. So Sequoyah looking to bring this one back to within 1 score. And will, if they can hammer home the point after, all it would take would be a touchdown and a point after in order to take the lead back.
That's right, Chase. And the only thing against the Chiefs right now is the clock. They've already used about half of the quarter, and they're really going to need to get this touchdown quick. And then not only that, but it's especially going to count on their defense to get a quick defensive stop and so they can get the ball back quickly, because if they can't utilize the clock here, it's not going to be in their favor, Chase.
Still plenty of time left, though, as we've wasted half the fourth quarter, but Sequoyah trying to come away with some points here. It would be really big to hang 20 points on and pull to within a score. So second and very, very short as both teams start to creep their way back out onto the field. Trainer tried to sneak it in last time, was unsuccessful. They marked him down just short of the goal line. Let's see what Sequoyah comes up with here in a second and short situation. So Sequoyah not saying die. Trying to get to back within striking distance on this one. Second and goal from the 1-yard line. Hancock in the backfield. Trainer up under center. And he's going to move in one more time, and Sequoyah scores a touchdown. Trainer sneaks that one in from the 1-yard line, and with 5:58 left to go in the fourth quarter, Sequoyah is back to within a touchdown.
And that's great news for the Chiefs. After that rocky third quarter, they were able to come back out of the gate in the fourth and get a touchdown. Now they're just going to need to get a quick defensive stop and get the ball back.
So we'll see how the point after attempt goes as Ryan comes in to put this one through. Conti the holder. Sequoyah's already had some long snapping issues tonight. 5:58 left to go. Holds good, and that one is wide of the goalposts again. So Ryan misses another point after, and Sequoyah at best can tie it up with a hold here against the Chiefs, against the Warriors. So 26-19, Sequoyah squanders a huge opportunity on the missed point after attempt. So Sequoyah going to rely on that defense to come out and get a big stop against the Warriors after Matthew Trainer sneaks that one into the end zone. And how big is that missed field goal now? As Sequoyah going to need 7 points to tie it up, but they're going to have to stop this Warriors offense first as they trail by a touchdown. We want to thank everyone for watching tonight on ChiefsTV.org. And for all of you that came out to Skip Pope Memorial Stadium tonight It is great to have high school football back in full force. Cherokee with a huge contingent of their fan base on the visitor side of the field, and Sequoyah got a pretty raucous crowd as well, as Ryan ready to kick this one back off to the Warriors. And it's a high kick. Harshaw going to take it at the 10-yard line. Got to watch out. He's got some speed, and he's going to try to bounce to the outside. And Sequoyah finally going to wrap him up and take him down back at the 19-yard line. So good job there by the special teams unit containing Harshaw. So first down and 10 for Cherokee. Ball spotted at the 20-yard line. 5:49 left to go. So a big game here tonight. Sequoyah only trailing by 7. Swan back in the shotgun. Got a tight formation of wide receivers flanking him on both sides. Motion to the far side of the field. Hands off to Johnson, and Johnson bounces to the outside, and he's got a lot of room. Sequoyah just cannot contain him, and a big pickup for Z Johnson as he gets all the way out to the 39-yard line.
And Z Johnson's going to be that player that the Chiefs especially want to watch out for. He's been running all over the Chiefs defense tonight, and they're going to want to really lock down on him because, as we saw earlier, when he gets real estate, he can fly.
So ball officially spotted at the 38-yard line. That'll make it an 18-yard pickup for Z Johnson. And with 5:32 left to go, Cherokee still on top of Sequoyah, 26-19. First and 10, and finally we get permission to play the game as the Cherokee offense looks to the sideline for the call. Clock begins to run again, 5:25. Cherokee taking their time to get to the line of scrimmage. One wide receiver to the far side. And two to the near side. One running back in the backfield. Snap taken by Swan. He hands this one off to Johnson again. Johnson going to be tackled after a pickup of about 4. I'll walk that one back a yard, so a pickup of 3. Second and 7 coming up. Warriors got to get to the Chief to their own 49-yard line to flip the chains. Cherokee coming up to the line of scrimmage. 4:36 left to go. Time not in the Chiefs' favor. They're going to have to stop them here. Chiefs still have all of their timeouts, though. Snap taken by Swan. Hands that one off to Johnson. And Johnson going to be run out of bounds after a pickup of 3. So third and medium coming up. Big third down for Sequoyah. So a big third down for both teams. On top of the Chiefs by 7, 26-19. Sequoyah needs a stop here to get the ball back. Swan in the shotgun. 2 wide receivers on each side. Johnson next to him in the backfield. Here comes the pressure. It's a slip screen. No good. And that one's going to fall harmlessly to the turf. And that will bring up 4th down and 5 for the Cherokee Warriors. So Sequoyah not fooled on that one. And out comes the Cherokee punting unit to try and pin the Chiefs back with 3:40 left to go.
And Chase, that's exactly what the Chiefs needed right there, is a defensive stop. Now they'll be looking to Matthew Trainer to get them good field positioning on this offensive drive here.
So, folks, if you are watching this one, you have tuned into a good one. Sequoyah trying to claw their way back in. Punting unit out for Cherokee. Trainer in the backfield to receive the punt. Swan, not only the team's quarterback, but the punter as well. Good snap, taken in a high kick, and Trainer going to go ahead and wave for the fair catch. And he'll catch that one at the 21-yard line, and that's where the Chiefs will take over with 3 minutes and 35 seconds left to go in the game, down 26-19.
Chase, as we've said before, the Chiefs aren't a big play team, but now they need it more than ever. They need a big run from someone like Peyton Lucas or Jack Pye scores. As we said, passing is not their strength, but they're really going to be looking for a big play to get them down the field fast.
So 3:35 left to go in the fourth quarter. Sequoyah down by 7. Let's see if they can put together another big drive. After a disastrous
Down by 7, so a touchdown with an extra point wouldn't put them ahead. It would still have them tied. So a good drive is not going to be everything. They're still going to need a little bit more.
So timeout Sequoyah here with 2 minutes and 34 seconds left to go in the contest. So after the first down, Sequoyah going to get it in Cherokee territory. Ball's on the 44-yard line.
Get it together. Get it together.
So they're going to respot the ball on the 49-yard line. First and 10 for the Chiefs. And handoff to the inside. A nice run there for Bell as he falls down 2 yards short of the line to gain. So second and short coming up for the Chiefs. Second and 18. Correction, 2 minutes and 18 seconds left on the clock as it is second and 2 for the Chiefs. Chiefs offense quick to the line. Another pitch play, and this one's going to be taken for a first down as Bell, the ball carrier for Sequoyah, as he picks up 6 yards, and that will give Sequoyah a fresh set of downs, and they are moving just swimmingly with 1:53 left to go. Clock starts again. Sequoyah back to the line. First and 10. 1:46. Handoff up the middle to Lucas. Lucas got a lot of space, and he'll pick up about 7 yards. Sequoyah, second and 3 coming up now with 1:35 left to go in the fourth quarter. Trailing by 7 points. Cherokee on top of Sequoyah, 26-19. Handoff taken. Now giving up the middle, and that one is going to go for a first down, and Sequoyah going to move the chains again. So with 1:15 left, this Chiefs offense is in business and looking to strike to tie this game up. So Sequoyah going to go ahead and take another timeout. They've got one left, 1:13 left to go. Will Sequoyah trying desperately to get that last touchdown in. They've got 1:13 seconds to do it. They can tie it up if they make the extra point, but we've seen tonight that that's no easy matter as well.
That's exactly right. They've been so slowly but surely making their way down the field, doing a good job of getting first down after first down. But yes, our kicker has had a little bit of trouble making those extra points, so we're really going to need him if we are able to score that touchdown.
So as we come to the end of the timeout, 1:13 left to go. 26-19 Sequoyah. Chiefs trailing Cherokee. Ball on the 26-yard line. Trainer under center, takes the snap, hands this one up the middle to Peyton Lucas, and he's going to be taken down after a pickup of about 4. Sequoyah going to have to get to the line quickly as we are getting to under a minute left to go. Pickup of 4 for Peyton Lucas. 50 seconds left to go. Precious seconds ticking off the clock. Toss play, and now it's a trick play. It's a throw. Up and knocked out of his hands at the last second. And Hancock unable to come up with the throw. He had the space, but the throw was a little late. And Hancock unable to come down with it as he was cleaned out by the Cherokee secondary. So 3rd and 7 coming up for the Chiefs. 42 seconds left to go. Cherokee trying to get out of here with a win. 42 seconds left. A big 3rd down coming up for Sequoyah. Trainer settles in under center. Fakes the handoff. Rolls out to his near side. Going to throw this one back. And it's going to be caught. And a 1st down for Sequoyah. And that one is complete to Ty Moores. So that'll move the chains. 33 seconds left to go. Sequoyah got to wait on the chain crew. And Trainer going to go ahead and spike that one. And a flag comes in late. And offsides on Cherokee, going to move this one up 5 yards for the Chiefs. So with 31 seconds left, Cherokee in a position that it does not want to be in. Will, an exciting way to end the game. Just imagine if you came out and watched it tonight.
That's exactly right, Chase. And the tides have turned a little bit here. Usually it's the Chiefs getting the penalty, but with the Cherokee penalty, that will help the Chiefs a lot.
So they're going to add 33 seconds back onto the clock. So they'll add 2 seconds, 26-19. Warriors still on top of the Chiefs. The fan section here at Skip Popp Stadium starting to let everybody hear it. Clock winding down. Trainer rolls out of the pocket. He's got some space on the near side, and he's still on his feet, and he's in the end zone. Touchdown, Sequoyah. Touchdown, Chiefs, with 18 seconds left to go. And let's see what they're going to do here. And Sequoyah going to take its last time out, so you got to think they're going to try and go for 2.
What a play from Trainer there. And, you know, as we said all night, when he can't find his own, or when he can't find a running back or receiver, we can always count on him to do it himself, and that's exactly what he did there, and that is just what we needed.
So 18 seconds left to go. Sequoyah trailing Cherokee 26-25. A fantastic game here at Skip Popp, one that's going to go down in the record books as one of the most exciting games in this storied Cherokee County rivalry. These teams have played 26 times. If Sequoyah is able to pull off the win here, they will have won 15 of those 26 games. Let's see what Sequoyah draws up here. As the offense trots back out onto the field, Coach Teeter says he wants the win. 18 seconds left. Sequoyah gonna go for 2. Cherokee wanted to see how Sequoyah lined up, so they're gonna go ahead and take a timeout and talk about it as well. Will, an exciting one here from Skip Popp as Sequoyah, after a disastrous third quarter, has completely recovered and come back to within 1 point of tying this up. But that's not good enough for the Chiefs. They want to go for the win.
Yeah, everything that we said the Chiefs needed to do, they have done exactly that so far, and that has been just crucial for them getting to this point. 18 seconds left. I mean, it's come down to the wire.
So a fantastic matchup here from Cherokee County as Sequoyah looking to put away a highly ranked Cherokee Warriors team. And all that's standing in the way is 2 yards. So let's see what Sequoyah comes up with here on the 2-point conversion. Hancock and Lucas in the backfield. Trainer going to get in under center. One wide receiver out to the far side. That's Massey. Takes the ball, fakes the handoff. It's going to be Matthew Trainer, and he's going to cruise into the end zone for the 2-point conversion. Sequoyah goes up 1 point. Conversion, and they are back in the lead.
How about that?
Oh, they're going to say no good. Oh, my goodness. They're going to say he didn't get there. And Coach Teeter is not happy. Oh, I don't believe it, Will. They said it was no good. Will, we've got a cameraman down there. I cannot wait to see the footage that we pull off of that. And a disappointing finish as Sequoyah is called short on the 2-point conversion. And Sequoyah going to go ahead and try the onside kick. And Will, I can't wait to see the footage that comes off our end zone camera. I mean, what do you say, Will? They worked so hard to get back to this.
I don't know. I just don't know.
So here's the onside kick, and Cherokee's going to recover. And Cherokee escapes by the hair of their chin and is able to stave off a Sequoyah comeback. So with 18 seconds left, the Cherokee offense going to come back out onto the field. And Cherokee out in victory formation. And Swan going to go ahead and take a knee. And that should do it here from Skip Popp Stadium as Sequoyah's valiant effort at a comeback comes up just short. And the Cherokee Warriors will be victorious by a final score of 26-25. Will, I feel sick for these kids, bud.
Yeah, we couldn't really see exactly what was going on. It was in the near end zone. I'm not sure. I thought he got in. We both obviously thought he got in. Apparently the ref saw something different. Either way, the Chiefs did great job in that fourth quarter. They were able to come back and score another touchdown, or another 2 touchdowns, I mean. But I don't know, just not the result we wanted.
And that's unfortunate. Hats off to the Sequoyah Chiefs who played their hearts out tonight. I want to thank everybody for joining us on ChiefsTV.org. And congratulations to the Cherokee Warriors. They'll move to 2-2 on the season as Sequoyah falls to 1-1. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us once again on Chiefs TV. Have a great night, and we'll hope to see you at our next home game, which will be Sequoyah against Johns Creek. God bless everybody, and have a great night.